bustling market of Accra buzzed with life. Merchants hollered their prices, children darted between stalls, and the smell of fresh spices filled the air. Yaw, tall and thoughtful, moved through the crowd, his mind distant from the task at hand. He was here for ingredients his mother needed for dinner, but his thoughts were elsewhere, until he saw her. Amma stood at a stall, her fingers brushing the intricate beads on display. Her grace stood in stark contrast to the chaos around her, and something about her made Yaw's heart skip a beat. Their eyes met, and in that brief moment, Yaw felt a spark, a force that seemed to pull him toward her. She looked away quickly, but Yaw knew this wasn't an ordinary encounter. Was it fate, or something more? As Yaw walked away, he couldn't shake the feeling that his life had just changed in a way he didn't yet understand. The next day, Yaw returned to the market, unable to resist the pull. He scanned the crowd, searching for Amma, but she was nowhere to be seen. Disappointed, he wandered aimlessly, lost in his thoughts. That's when he overheard two merchants whispering. "She's not like us, you know," one said. "Her family, there's something different about them." Yaw's heart raced. Were they talking about Amma? Who was she really? Later that afternoon, Yaw spotted her again at a quiet cafe, reading a book. He approached her, his heart pounding in his chest. "Mind if I sit here?" he asked, trying to hide his nervousness. Amma looked up, surprised but smiled and nodded. They started talking, finding common ground in their shared experience as high school students. Yet Yaw couldn't shake the mystery surrounding her family. Who was she really? What secrets was she hiding? Yaw returned home after his encounter with Amma, his thoughts consumed by her. But something strange happened that night. He dreamed of a dark, winding path that led him to a shadowy figure. The figure whispered his name before vanishing, leaving Yaw breathless. When he awoke, he couldn't shake the eerie feeling that the dream was a warning. At breakfast, Yaw's mother noticed his distraction. "Yaw, you seem far away today. Is everything all right?" she asked, her brow furrowed with concern. Yaw brushed it off, but deep down, he knew something wasn't right. His meeting with Amma had sparked more than just feelings of love. It had awakened something else. A force he didn't understand, but one that felt older than time itself. As Yaw and Amma continued to meet in secret, their bond grew stronger, but so did the challenges. One day, while they sat by the riverbank, Amma's face clouded with worry. "My parents are planning to arrange a marriage for me," she confessed, her voice trembling. Yaw's heart sank. "To who?" he asked, his voice tense. "His name is Kofi," she said. "He's the son of a wealthy businessman, and my parents think he's the perfect match. But I don't love him, Yaw. I love you." Just as she said this, Yaw spotted a figure in the distance, a tall, muscular man with piercing eyes. It was Kofi, and he was watching them. A knot of fear twisted in Yaw's stomach. Kofi wasn't just a wealthy suitor, he was dangerous. As Kofi's presence loomed over them, Yaw began to feel the weight of their relationship's secrecy. Things took a darker turn when he overheard a conversation between Kofi and Amma's brother at the market. "I'll make sure Yaw is out of the picture," Kofi promised. "Amma belongs with me." Yaw's blood boiled, but what came next chilled him to the bone. Amma's brother had nodded in agreement. Had Amma's own family betrayed her? He didn't tell Amma what he had overheard, but the doubt began to eat away at him. Could Amma's family truly force her into a life she didn't want? Yaw grew distant, haunted by what he had overheard. Amma noticed his change in demeanor and confronted him. "What's wrong, Yaw? You've been avoiding me." Yaw hesitated but finally told her what he had heard. Amma's face turned pale, but instead of being shocked, she sighed. "I knew my brother would do something like this. He's always wanted to control my life." Amma's calm response only deepened Yaw's confusion. Was she hiding something else from him? Doubt gnawed at him. Was their love strong enough to withstand the forces pulling them apart? Desperate for answers, Ya sought out a local mystic rumored to know the secrets of the heart. The old woman lived on the outskirts of the city, shrouded in mystery and feared by many. "You seek answers about the girl," she rasped, as soon as Ya entered her home. Ya felt a shiver crawl down his spine. "Be warned, boy. Her fate is not hers alone. A great test is coming, and not all who love her will survive." Ya left the mystic's home with a heavy heart. What did she mean? Was this about Kofi? Or was there something even more dangerous lurking in Amma's life? Days passed, and the weight of the mystic's words lingered in Ya's mind. Then, the test came. One evening, as Ya and Amma met by the riverbank, they were ambushed by Kofi and his men. "You think you can take her from me?" Kofi spat, rage filling his eyes. "You're nothing, Ya. You can't offer her the life she deserves." As Ya stood to defend Amma, a sudden force, a gust of wind that seemed to come from nowhere, swept through the clearing. It was as if the land itself was reacting to the conflict between them. In the midst of the chaos, Amma stepped forward. "I choose Ya," she declared, her voice firm. The wind stilled, and Kofi froze, his confidence shaken. Kofi left that night, but his defeat only deepened his resolve. He would not let Amma go so easily. Meanwhile, Amma's parents were furious when they learned of the confrontation. "You've embarrassed our family," her father said, his voice seething with anger. "Do you realize what you've done?" Amma stood tall, refusing to back down. "I won't marry for wealth, father. I choose my own path." Her defiance came at a cost. Her family threatened to disown her, leaving her with nothing. Ya offered her his support, but Amma was torn. Could she really walk away from everything she'd known? As the tension between Ya, Amma, and Kofi grew, strange occurrences began to plague the village. Crops withered overnight, animals fell ill, and whispers of a curse spread through the market. People began to point fingers at Amma's family, claiming that her defiance had angered the spirits. Even Ya's own mother warned him. "Something dark is coming, Ya. You need to stay away from that girl." But Ya couldn't abandon Amma. They had come too far. Still, the ominous signs continued, and Ya began to wonder, was their love truly cursed? Amma's family wasn't the only one under pressure. Ya's father confronted him one evening, his face lined with worry. "I've heard talk in the market. People say Amma is cursed, that she brings misfortune." Ya tried to defend her, but his father's words struck fear into his heart. "You're risking everything for this girl, Ya. Our family's reputation, our livelihood, it's all at stake." As the accusations mounted, Ya and Amma found themselves more isolated than ever. Even their closest friends began to turn against them. Desperate for help, Amma turned to the mystic that Ya had visited before. The old woman welcomed her into her home, her eyes gleaming with knowledge. "You seek to lift the curse," the mystic said, before Amma could even speak. "But curses are not lifted by words alone. You must prove your love is stronger than the forces that seek to destroy it." Amma left the mystic's home with a heavy heart. What kind of test would prove their love? And could she and Ya pass it? Or were they doomed to fail? Kofi returned to the village, more determined than ever to win Amma's hand. This time, he brought an offer her parents couldn't refuse. Wealth beyond their wildest dreams, enough to secure their family's future for generations. Amma's parents were swayed by the offer, and once again, they pressured her to leave Ya. But Amma stood firm. "I will not marry for money," she declared, even as her family's disapproval grew stronger. But Kofi wasn't ready to give up. He had one final card to play, an ancient artifact that he claimed could lift the curse. With it, he could give Amma the life she deserved, free from the supernatural forces that haunted them. Amma brought the artifact to Ya, unsure of its power. "Kofi says it can lift the curse, but I don't trust him," she admitted. Ya examined the artifact, feeling a strange energy radiating from it. He didn't know if it could help, they were running out of options. That night, the two of them returned to the riverbank, where the curse had first revealed itself. Holding the artifact between them, they made a vow to sacrifice everything they had for each other, no matter the cost. As they spoke the words, the wind stirred once again, and a voice, soft but ancient, whispered in their ears. True love requires sacrifice. Only through pain can the curse be broken. The next morning, Amma's family gave her an ultimatum. Choose them, or choose Yah. The choice weighed heavily on her heart. She loved her family, but she couldn't imagine a life without Yah. Meanwhile, Yah faced pressure from his own family, who threatened to cut ties with him if he didn't walk away from Amma. For both of them, the stakes had never been higher. They met once again at their secret spot by the riverbank, torn between love and loyalty. I don't know what to do, Amma whispered, tears in her eyes. We'll find a way, Yah promised. But even he wasn't sure if they could overcome the forces pulling them apart. With time running out, Yah and Amma returned to the mystic for guidance. We've done everything you've asked, but the curse remains, Amma said, desperation in her voice. The mystic's eyes gleamed with an unsettling knowledge. You have faced the test of love, but the final test lies ahead. One of you must give up everything, your family, your past, and even your own happiness, for the other. Only then will the curse be lifted. The weight of the mystic's words hung heavy in the air. Could they truly make such a sacrifice? And if so, who would it be? As they prepared for the final test, Kofi made one last desperate move. He bribed Amma's brother, offering him riches in exchange for revealing Yah's whereabouts. Amma's brother, swayed by greed, led Kofi to their secret meeting place. That night, Kofi and his men ambushed Yah. A fierce struggle ensued, and Yah barely escaped with his life. But the betrayal cut deeper than any wound. When Yah confronted Amma about her brother's actions, doubt clouded their relationship once more. How can we trust anyone? Yah asked, his voice filled with pain. Even your own family has turned against us. Amma was torn. She loved Yah, but the cracks in their relationship were growing wider. Could they survive this final betrayal? With everything falling apart around them, Yah and Amma faced one final test. Could they forgive those who had wronged them? The mystic had warned them that true love required sacrifice, but neither of them had anticipated how difficult that sacrifice would be. As they stood together, facing the darkness that had consumed their lives, Yah reached for Amma's hand. We've come this far, he said softly. We can't give up now. Amma nodded, her heart heavy but resolute. Together, they made a vow to forgive their families, their friends, and even themselves. Only through forgiveness could they break the chains that bound them to the curse. The night of the final test arrived. Yah and Amma returned to the riverbank where it had all begun. The wind stirred, and the ancient voice whispered once again, You have proven your love, but now you must prove your strength. One final act of courage will determine your fate. Suddenly, Kofi appeared, flanked by his men. This ends tonight, he growled, drawing a knife. Yah stepped forward, ready to defend Amma, but before he could act, Amma raised the ancient artifact. A blinding light erupted from the artifact, engulfing them all. In that moment, the forces of love and hatred collided, and the fate of Yah and Amma hung in the balance. When the light faded, Yah and Amma stood alone, their hands still clasped together. Kofi was gone, and the curse that had haunted them had lifted. The air felt lighter, and the oppressive weight of fear had vanished. Their families, too, had changed. Seeing the strength of Yah and Amma's love, they finally accepted their relationship and welcomed them back with open arms. The village no longer whispered of curses and betrayal. Instead, they spoke of a love that had defied all odds. As Yah and Amma stood together in the bustling market, their future stretched out before them like the horizon. They had sacrificed everything for love, but in the end, they had gained something far more valuable: freedom, peace, and a love that would endure through any storm. I hope you all have enjoyed this tale. Kindly share it and subscribe for more amazing tales.